Let's talk about the death or the murder of Paul Anthony DeSouza, or better known as PJ among his family and friends. He was 25 years old. He was born on June 29th, 1994. On January 11th, 2020, he was at a house, 367 Military Road, west of Neilson Road in Scarborough, just hanging with friends. But at some point, he fell asleep. He was sleeping on the couch, and at least two gunmen, police think, went to the house. They went through the side door, the side or whatever, went into the backyard, and started to shoot through the glass doors. The windows were drawn. The curtains, were drawn. So it's not like they can see and identify for sure the person who they're coming after is the one lying on the couch. They just came, they saw a silhouette, and they started to shoot. PJ was shot multiple times. From what I read in the paper, he was shot multiple times in the torso area, is what the news is saying. But he was rushed to hospital and he passed away. Now, his mom, Carrie-Ann DeSouza, was living in Windsor, Ontario at the time. I think that might be like a 4, maybe 5 hours drive. I'm not 100% sure, but it's not like she's 5 minutes away. She was a distance away. And to imagine getting such shocking news and you being so far away and there's nothing you can do, or you can't even be there, at the time of his passing kind of thing. It's gut-wrenching. And she's suffering from pancreatic cancer, stage 4. I'm not sure how well she's doing right now, and I'm going to insert some clips of her talking about, her son. She thought that he would have been the one to bury her. I think that's how most parents think. Your child is the one that should bury you, not you burying your child, We know death is a part of life, but to imagine it being so sudden and so recklessly and unnecessarily. And while this case is not considered a cold case, it's still unsolved. Like, the police doesn't have a whole lot of information to go off of. And his mother believes that people know who the perpetrators are. They know the situation of why they came there that night. And nobody's talking as per usual, Like, this young man, he was peaceful. He worked, he had his life insurance set up and all of that, which not a lot of young people have life insurance set up. They don't care about that, and it might seem like something small and minor, but he had his set up. Like, he was responsible. He loved his I think his niece was 4 or 5. He loved to spend time with her. And he wasn't on the streets like that. He liked to spend time with his friends and family. So he had 2 sisters, Kiana and Unique, and his niece name was Ilona, I believe. And as I said before, his mother's name was Carrie-Ann, or is Carrie-Ann DeSouza. His dad was, Paul Anthony DeSouza Sr. But I'm going to insert the clips here of his mom talking about the case. It's, as I always say, if you know something, say something. But then I also understand the other side. But it really shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. But
it's not real.
It's been a living nightmare since Carrie-Ann DeSouza got the call early Saturday morning. Her son, 25-year-old Paul Anthony DeSouza, had been shot dead. He was sleeping on a couch, his mother says, when gunshots were fired on Military Trail in Scarborough and bullets went through a glass door.
There was other people in the room, but he was on the couch directly across from the sliding glass doors, and shots were fired into the house from outside, somewhere on the patio.
DeSouza was visiting loved ones at the home. There were about 8 people inside, including his niece.
My granddaughter was in the house upstairs in the bedroom, her cousin. Yeah.
how old are they?
5 and 4.
Wow.
The loss is incredibly painful for his mother, who was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer a year ago.
My son was supposed to bury me. That's what he was supposed to do. I think that was grade 7 or grade 8.
Describing DeSouza as a loving and hardworking young man.
He's a 25-year-old kid that, you know, pays into a pension fund, has his own life insurance, has his finances organized. He was focused on making his money through working so he could buy a house, so he could have a life.
His family now struggling to understand why and how his life was taken this way.
This has to do with violence against someone that had nothing to do with that lifestyle. It's horrific. And how do you get closure? How do you get any sort of peace when you know the people that did this are out there and they could do it again?
We're still grieving. We're never going to stop grieving.
365 days of indescribable heartbreak and sorrow over the death of Carrie Ann DeSouza's son, Paul Anthony DeSouza. Those who knew him called him PJ.
He's just a genuine, humble, good man.
On January 11th, 2020, DeSouza was visiting a friend on Military Trail in Toronto's East End.
He would see his niece. They didn't go out on the street. They were at home playing video games, watching movies.
At around 2 a.m., bullets shattered a glass door at the back of the home. DeSouza, who was sleeping on the couch, was struck by the gunfire and rushed to hospital. Carrie Ann, who was living in Windsor at the time, jumped into her car, hurrying to see her son. But even then, she had a feeling. She knew she was too late.
I remember sometime between 4 and 4:30 seeing PJ in the sky. And I started screaming in the car and telling him to fight. We actually just found out about 2-3 weeks ago, PJ's actual time of death was 4:15.
DeSouza's death, a gut-wrenching hit to Carrie Ann, who had just been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer a year earlier.
PJ never missed an opportunity to give me a hug or tell me that he loved me.
But 2020 has left nothing but more questions for Carrie Ann and her family. Toronto police are continuing to investigate the shooting, but have no updates, saying they believe there are witnesses who have yet to come forward.
We strongly believe people have information on who did this and are refusing to come forward.
Carrie Ann says it's been especially tough for DeSouza's niece.
She asks about him. He has another niece now that will never know him.
His death, a gaping hole in this family, and a pain Carrie Ann says she wishes no one else will have to endure. It's why she continues to seek answers.
It'll never bring PJ back. If we could have somebody held accountable for PJ's murder and save another mother, father, sister, brother, niece, nephew from feeling the pain of somebody being taken from them, that's all we could ask for.
Now, police believe there are at least 3 suspects involved, 2 who were shooting. The suspect vehicle is described as a black 4-door sedan. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers.